Hi, I'm Linda. In this video, we're going to explore the fire element. This is one in a series of 5 videos that I've done, each of which explores and allows us to connect with one of the 5 essential elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. So today we're going to connect with the fire element. So as always with these element yoga flows, I'll offer you a mudra. A mudra is a hand gesture that can help channel the energy in a particular way. So the gesture or the mudra associated with the fire element is Surya mudra. So the ring finger is folded down and the thumb is closed up against the ring finger. So on both hands. Then you're welcome to allow the hands to rest in your lap in whatever seated position that you find yourself in. And if you find that the mudra just doesn't seem to feel appropriate for you, you're welcome to allow the hands to rest in your lap. But what I will invite you to do is perhaps explore it just with a sense of curiosity and openness. And notice how this gesture is channeling the energy for you as we contemplate some of the characteristics of the fire element. The characteristics of creation, of destruction, of transformation. The fire element is also associated with those characteristics of spontaneity, inspiration, and passion within you. I'll offer you an affirmation that you might like to consider as we explore and connect with the fire element. Awakening my inner sun's radiant energy, I live with abundant vitality. Awakening my inner sun's radiant energy, I live with abundant vitality. So you're welcome to repeat that to yourself 3 more times. Noticing how this gesture and this affirmation is beginning to awaken the fire element within you. And as you feel ready, you're welcome to release the gesture and just take a moment to notice what's shifted even since we began. So we'll begin with a few rounds of sun salutation to honor the fire element. So coming to the front edge of your mat and creating your Tadasana, your standing mountain at the front edge of your mat, feeling the feet on the floor. Just really feeling your feet in contact with the surface beneath you, drawing that earth energy, the earth element up into your legs. Your legs are strong and supporting you. Opening up in the front of the body as you connect with the back body. And on an inhale, raising the palms overhead, a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, right foot back. Exhale, enjoy the lunge. Inhale, left foot back. Exhale, lower knees and chest onto the mat. Inhale into cobra. Exhale into downward dog. We'll pause here for 1 breath. Inhale the right foot forward. Exhale, enjoy the lunge. Inhale, left foot forward. Exhale and fold. Inhale, raising the arms overhead, little bit of a back bend. Exhale, palms right at the heart. And take a breath. We'll take that again. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhaling into the forward fold. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, right foot back. Exhale, lower. Inhale into cobra. Exhale into downward dog. And we'll pause here for 1 breath. Inhale, left foot forward. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, right foot forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale into your back bend, hands overhead. Exhale, palms right at the heart. And take a breath. We'll take that 2 more rounds. Inhaling into the back bend. Exhale and fold. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, left foot back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. And take a breath. Inhale, right foot forward. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, left foot forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale into the back bend. Exhale, palms right at the heart. And take a breath. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale and fold. Inhale halfway up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, left foot back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, right foot back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. And this time on the exhale, pressing right back into child pose. Settling the hips onto the heels, extending the fingertips to the front of the mat. We'll pause here for 2 cycles of breath. Connecting with the fire element within you. Noticing how your inner sun's energy is being ignited. And as you feel ready, sliding forward onto your tummy and creating a triangle here with the forearms. So the hands are clasped, the forearms are making a triangle here. The elbows are beneath your shoulders and engaging the low back body, curling the toes under and lifting the body off the mat, coming into a forearm plank here. We'll pause here for 3 cycles of breath. And 1 more breath. And lowering the body down onto the mat, unclasping the hands, bringing the chest forward into a Sphinx pose, a little bit of a back bend here. And if you like, we'll take that again and add on a little. So clasping the hands, creating your tripod here to support your body, curling the toes under, lifting the body off the mat. And then if you like, raising the right toes off the mat, pausing here for 1 more breath. And lowering the toes, taking the left toes off the mat. And lowering the toes, lowering the body down, releasing the hands, widening out your elbows and lowering the chest down onto the mat, turning your head over to one side or the other. We'll pause here for a moment before we move on. And bringing the chin back to center, hands come underneath your shoulders, curling the toes under and pressing your way right up into a full plank. We'll pause here for 3 breaths. So keeping the hips in alignment with the spine, accessing that inner fire within you for 1 more breath. And then if you like, here again, we'll raise the toes off the ground, raising the right toes off the ground. And lower, raising the left toes off the ground. And lower, and lowering the knees down onto the mat, shifting the hips back into child pose. We'll pause here for 2 cycles of breath, stretching out the back body. Noticing how your vitality is beginning to spark. And on an inhale, coming through table, right into downward dog, curling the toes under, taking your tailbone to the back of the room, coming into downward dog. Pause here for 3 cycles of breath. You might like to pedal the heels toward the mat 1 at a time, or allowing the heels to release toward the mat. Just letting the neck and head relax between your arms for 1 more breath. And on your next inhale, shifting the weight forward into plank, shoulders come over the wrists. And exhale back into downward dog. Take that 2 more times, inhaling forward into plank. And exhaling back into downward dog. 1 final time, inhaling forward into plank. And exhaling back into downward dog. Pausing here again in downward dog for 2 breaths. And inhaling the right toes to the back of the room and bringing that right knee in towards your right elbow. Exhaling, shooting the foot back to the room. We'll take that 2 more times, inhaling the right knee to the right elbow and exhaling the foot to the back wall. Inhaling the right knee to the right elbow, this time bringing the foot in between your hands. And when you feel ready, both hands come to that front knee, coming into a low lunge here. And again, when you feel ready, raising the arms overhead, coming into a variation of Warrior One. We'll pause here for 3 cycles of breath. Taking your mudra again, if you like, folding the ring fingers down underneath the thumbs. And then bringing the hands together in front of your heart, turning toward the right, coming into a twist, resting that left elbow on the right knee, pressing the palms together, coming into a twist. And releasing the twist, both hands frame the front foot as you step back into downward dog. And we'll pause here for 2 cycles of breath, taking the tailbone to the back wall, letting the neck and head relax. And on your next inhale, raising the left toes to the back of the room. And then on an exhale, bringing that left knee in toward the elbow, inhaling the foot to the back wall. We'll take that 2 more times. Knee comes to the elbow, taking the foot to the back of the wall. And 1 final time, bringing the knee into the elbow, this time bringing the foot in between your hands. And when you feel ready, bringing both hands to that front knee. And then again, when you feel ready, arms come overhead, coming into the variation of Warrior One here on this side. We'll pause here for 3 cycles of breath, taking your Surya Mudra again if you like. And when you feel ready, hands come together in front of the heart, rotating to the left, resting the right elbow on the left knee, coming into your twist on the opposite side. And framing that left foot with both hands as you bring the right foot forward, coming into a forward fold. So here in your forward fold, the hands can be resting on your shins or on your feet or holding on to opposite elbows. And again, when you feel ready, pressing the floor away with your feet as you roll your way to standing. Head comes up last. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, feel free to do that. Allow the energy and attention to circulate throughout your body. Can you feel your heart beating? So really feeling your feet on the floor here. Using that earth energy to support you as we continue to connect with fire. Shifting your weight into your heels as you take the tailbone to the back wall, bringing the arms up to shoulder height and drawing the arms into the sockets and taking the arms alongside your ears, coming into a chair pose. So here we'll pause for several cycles of breath. Again, you're welcome to take your Surya Mudra, folding the ring fingers underneath the thumbs, and directing the fire energy inner to spark your vitality. As you take 2 more breaths here. And releasing the mudra, straightening the legs, straightening the arms, returning to your standing mountain and circulating your attention and energy throughout your body. So if you like, we'll take another variation on chair pose. So pressing the hips to the back of the room, taking the weight into your heels. Hands come up to shoulder height this time, bringing the palms together in front of your heart. And turning toward the right, rotating the torso, resting the left elbow on that right knee, just as we did earlier in our lunge. We'll pause here for 2 more cycles of breath. And inhaling your way back to center, pausing here in your chair pose. And then we'll take the twist to the opposite side, turning to the left, rotating the torso, placing the right elbow on the left knee, coming into the twist as you press the palms together. Inhaling your way back to center, straightening out the legs, releasing the arms, and again taking your attention inward. Noticing the quality of your breathing. Allowing the breath to be full, free, fanning the fire of your inner vitality. And we'll take one more variation on chair pose, taking the hips to the back wall, bringing the arms up to shoulder height and raising the heels off the mat so you're on your toes, you're balancing on your toes. Then if you'd like to add on, taking a little pulse here, lowering and raising. And taking 2 more breaths here. And releasing the arms, straightening the legs, returning to your standing mountain. Enjoying that sense of vitality. It's firing up in you. And on an inhale, taking the hands overhead into a back bend. Exhale into your forward fold. Just noticing how this expression of the forward fold feels relative to your earlier forward folds. Stepping both feet back into downward dog. And again, noticing how downward dog feels relative to your earlier downward dog. And as you feel ready, lowering the knees down onto the mat, settling the hips onto the heels as you extend the fingers to the front of your mat, coming into a child pose for 3 cycles of breath. So noticing how in child pose, with the inhale, the back body expands. So using that expansion of the back body to continue to fire your vitality. And maybe on the exhale, you can settle a little more deeply into the pose. And on your next inhale, slowly rolling your way back up. Head comes up last. And swinging the legs around, coming into a staff pose. So the fingers are resting alongside your hips. Core is engaged. Pausing here in staff pose just for 1 breath. And bringing the soles of your feet down onto the mat. Coming into a half boat. So settling on your sits bones. Shins are parallel to the ground. You're holding on to the legs behind the knees, or the fingertips are extending forward. And releasing the feet back down onto the mat. Then we'll take that again, and if you like, coming into full boat pose, so beginning in half boat, and then if you like, extending the legs, taking the toes toward the ceiling, coming into a full boat. And lowering the feet back down onto the mat, Wrapping the left arm around the front of your knees and windmilling the right arm back, coming into a twist. Getting tall on your inhale and on your exhale, taking the gaze over the right shoulder. We'll pause here for 2 breaths. And then taking the twist to the opposite side, wrapping the knees with the right arm, windmilling the left arm around, supporting your posture with the left hand, taking the gaze over the left shoulder. We'll pause here for 2 breaths. And coming back to center, rolling your way right down onto your back. Legs are bent and the feet are flat on the floor. And we'll take a few variations on bridge pose just to stretch out the front of the body after all the work that we've done on the front of the body. So with the palms pressing into the mat on your next inhale, pressing the floor away with your feet as you take the hips toward the ceiling and rolling the shoulders underneath your back and clasping the hands. So you're really taking advantage of that leverage of pressing the feet into the floor, taking your chest towards your chin, pressing into the upper back and the upper shoulders. And the knees are pointing forward, taking 2 more breaths here. And unclasping the hands, lowering the hips back down onto the mat. And if you like, we'll take that one more time. We might add on a little variation. So pressing the floor away with your feet, rolling the shoulders underneath your back, clasping the hands behind you. And if you like, raising the right toes to the ceiling, pausing here for 2 breaths. And lowering the right foot, recreating your bridge, and taking that to the opposite side, left toes point to the ceiling. And lowering the left toes down to the mat again, recreating your bridge for 1 more breath. And unclasping the hands, allowing the hips to return to the mat, and that delicious feeling when the back of your body softens completely into the support beneath you. Big breath in, and releasing that with a sigh as you draw the knees into your chest. And extending the arms out at shoulder height in a T shape, letting the bent knees fall over to the left as you take your gaze over to the right. We'll pause here for 2 cycles of breath as you allow the entire body to soften downward. Beginning to allow the fire within you to cool. Bringing the knees back to center, giving the knees a gentle squeeze if you like. And then taking that twist right on over to the opposite side, so allowing the knees to fall over to the right, your gaze is over the left shoulder. And we'll pause here for 2 cycles of breath as you allow the whole body to soften downward. Softening the shoulders and arms, the back, the hips, the knees and feet as you take 1 more cycle of breath. And coming back to center, bringing the arms alongside your body and straightening the legs one at a time, coming into our final integration and relaxation. So allowing the feet to gently roll outwards, allowing the palms to turn upward toward the ceiling, creating a sense of receptivity in the palms. And allowing the entire body to soften into the support of the surface beneath you. Letting go of any areas of tension, any areas of muscular engagement. And bowing to your inner fire. Bowing to the radiant energy inside you. Bowing to your happiness and health, and offering this light into the world. Have a brilliant day.